with the incredible Improv Wolves, who are a fabulous group. We've had them on the show before doing excellent stuff. Robert Lane is one of the actors part of the group, and I believe we've got Lee on the phone as well. Hi, guys.
Hi, Elise. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Robert, we meet again, darling. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. How's things been going?
Well, that's a question and a half, Robert. But yes, we're all right, thank you. We're getting by. Robert, we'll start with you, my darling, because you are multi-talented. I mean, you do all sorts of things, but we're here to chat about Improv Wolves specifically. Tell me about the group.
So it's actually, yesterday was the year anniversary of our first show, I've just realised this morning.
Oh, my gosh.
At Facebook and stuff. So yeah, this group's been together 12 months. It's a short form comedy improv group, meaning that we play improv games. Basically, we create little comedy sketches from audience suggestions.
I mean, that's got to be terrifying though, hasn't it, at times?
It has its moments, but then that's part of the fun, really. We practice, obviously, we know what the games are going to be. We work with each other a lot. But actually, there's always an element of who knows what's going to happen, because it depends who's in that room, what's happening in the world at the time. But it's sort of instant creativity, and we love it. Oh, gosh.
And Lee, I believe you're part of this as well?
Yeah, happily so.
And how is it?
It's been great fun. As Rob said, we've been doing it for a year now, across a number of venues. We've travelled a bit further afield to Bath and to Guildford and other places. And wonderful thing is, obviously, different audiences, different stimulus, different starting points, always a different show.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of going to see an improv show, you know, for anybody that wants to come along and see you guys in action, is you're never going to see the same show twice. Robert, that must be the thrill of what you guys do.
It absolutely is. It makes life a little bit difficult, because it's a very difficult thing to promote, I find, because I literally can't say what the show's going to be. But also the fantastic moments that happen when you try and describe them to somebody who wasn't there. Like, oh, well, you know, and then Lee flew in the helicopter, and then there was a dinosaur, but then in the boat. So it kind of doesn't mean anything if you weren't there. It's ephemeral, but then that in itself is really exciting. So someone coming to our show or any improv show is going to be witness to something that's never going to happen again, probably for very good reason.
Yeah, some of these storylines are quite creative. I know from doing improv myself, but also going to watch improv. It's wild. Lee, what's some of the craziest things that you guys have been asked to do by the audience?
Oh, my God. I think once we had an alternative death scene for Henry VIII.
Oh, wow.
He was involved in a very unpleasant and probably unmentionable situation with his horse. Right. And we've had many revisitations of people from history. We've had a few time travelling moments. And as Rob said, it's the audience's inventiveness can sometimes throw you, and as soon as you launch yourself into something, you can reflect on it later. You're trying to tell your spouse or something about what's going on.
Yeah.
It just sounds like the ramblings of a madman, but in the moment, it was something quite beautiful.
And I suppose when the audience are on board with you, when you can hear their reaction, when they're laughing along, when they're throwing these ideas at you, I bet the adrenaline and the buzz you get from it, Robert, is just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, any performing, it's that when it really works, as you all know from doing your show and stuff, like when it all works and everybody's on fire, you're kind of part of it but not conscious of it. It's all kind of happening in this very interesting way. And the improv shows them that to the extreme, really, when the audience is on form and we're on form. And it's almost as if all the answers are really obvious and you're just running towards them, as crazy as they might be. And then another fun thing that happens sometimes, someone might say after a show, I loved where Lawrence did this bit or Rob did that, and you're like, I didn't see that because I was stood in front of him, because it's not rehearsed or practiced. I mean, obviously we're paying attention to whatever's doing, but it's great because audiences could pick up on stuff, and it's so clever the way you brought that back, and we'll say, oh yes, it was, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it wasn't planned. I love how it works. I mean, you know, acting is such a skill, and we know that. And we speak to actors, well, all the time on this show, don't we? Especially on Stagey Sunday. I find improv so fascinating. I wasn't that great at it at college. I studied it, and I found it quite hard. And I think that's because I was so used to working with script, and to come off the page, I found quite tricky. Lee, it is a skill, isn't it? I think you guys make it look easy, but actually there is a little bit of skill involved.
Yeah, well, you can practice these things, so you can start to sort of learn to associate and put ideas together. But scripted material is very different. Lawrence is our most experienced actor with scripted material. I used to do stand-up, and I'd write things very methodically, and then you have to blame the material when things didn't go well. Whereas it's so spontaneous and so off the cuff. And you just mentioned yourself, you never thought you were good at it, but in your job, you're doing it all the time, aren't you? Because you're always having interactions with people, even now, and you're having to use those skills just on, in a different way, I suppose.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. That's made me feel a bit better about my terrible improv acting days. You're an angel. Listen, guys, obviously you guys, what you do is brilliant, and you've already given us so much information of how the show works. But where can we see you live, Robert? Where are you going to be next?
Well, our next show we're very excited about. It's Birmingham. It's a place called Tilt in Birmingham city centre.
Yeah.
City Arcades, I believe, is where it is. One of those great little old arcade places that we have in Birmingham. And as I said, it's the 25th of August at 7 p.m. It's our first time at this venue, which we love it there. We think it's great. And that's it, yeah. So tickets for that one are £8 in advance, £10 on the door. So obviously you want to get your tickets in advance. It goes without saying. And yeah, it's our kind of our first Birmingham show, really. We've kind of our spiritual home is Wolverhampton, and then as Lee mentioned, we've been out doing fringe festival stuff all over the place. And we've been looking for a Birmingham venue that kind of feels right for what we do, and we think we found one in Tilt, so we're looking forward to it.
Amazing, and new audiences as well. Lee, why should people come along and see Improv Wolves in action?
Come and be part of something unrepeatable.
Well, that's it. You won't see it again. And you might see something magical and you'll think, oh, well, you'll be telling all your friends you missed out on a great night. So this is going to be brilliant. This is Improv Wolves live at Tilt in Birmingham City Centre on Friday, the 25th of August. And of course, Robert, if people want to find out more about you guys and what you get up to after that, where can they head to?
Our website is improvwolvescomedy.substack.com. We're on Instagram and Twitter as improv_wolves, I believe it is. But hopefully if you Googled Improv Wolves, all the info should come up. There's a video that we've got on YouTube of some clips from our show at the Arena Theatre in Wolverhampton, which might give an idea of what a show is like.
Yeah.
And yeah, if people do find us, please say hello and everything on our social medias, because it's always fun when people do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Get involved. Robert and Lee, it's really good to talk to you both. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'm wishing you all the best of luck with that brilliant upcoming performance at Tilt in Birmingham City Centre in August. Right, more staging.